Hey, what is up guys, Master here, back to do another video, and this is going to be a strategy showcase of my rig all-in. I haven't, I believe, showcased this strat before, but it does involve me selling my MCV. It is one of the more powerful variants of the rig rush. You guys saw in that Rex game on Odyssey how I would respond to a player going for one base tier 3. I responded in kind with my own one base tier 3, so there's a lot of variations. This is in essence the GDI one base build. There's no one particular way to do it, there are many, and I'm going to showcase today another way to play this. Dackle, back in the day, mastered the one base GDI strategies with Orcas and Predator tanks, but these days I mix in a rig. And I believe it is worthwhile to include rigs because they do tank a lot of damage. They force your opponent to often overspend early. It spearheads your GDI push. And Steel Talons can synergize rigs better because they got the MRTs which can repair buildings as well as units. So you can repair that rig, unpack it, or rather pack it up and get some repairs on that rig whilst it's in the vehicle state. Then you save a lot of funds. One thing I don't like too much about the Steel Talons is the fact that their Wolverines is $3,500. Now Wolverines, yes, they are better than APCs as far as DPS is concerned, but their armor is a little bit lackluster. But if you can get them into cover, they can be pretty good. And rigs, by the way, do offer that cover system, that cover protection for the Wolverine. So they'll be granted a healthy 40% reduction to incoming damage. It's the only vehicle in Kane's draft that benefits from cover, a mechanic seldom seen. But Wolverines do have that. So I'm going to start things off with this MRT here. I'm going to build a Titan as well. I do this on 4 harvesters. And I know I'm struggling for funds here, but when I get my airfield down, I'll be able to sell that MCV. The placement of my airfield also will determine where my bloodhounds will spawn. I want it to spawn in the bottom of the map, so here will do. So I'm going to summon in the V35 Ox to lift up this Engineer 2, so I can take my opponent's spike, deny that income, and get some income of my own. And since I've got less harvesters on my tip field, that field's going to last me a little bit longer. And this pressure I'm putting on here will also prevent Eclipse from taking that blue Tiberium field. So this is a really good map for this strategy I'm doing here. I'm going to bring in these Wolverines and Pitbulls. MRT will survive here. I want to try and stop this militant going into that building because it may shoot the Engineer down. One mistake I may have made right there was selling my tier 2, because I could have got the sensor pod upgrades for my Orcas, which would allow my Orcas to more easily detect and destroy those harvesters. We see the rig has not yet arrived, and this is supposed to be in front, but I delayed it due to the Titan. But this force I built beforehand would protect my rig, and my rig would get to the front line without being delayed, because my opponent would have to go through all of these units here. Orca does come in, and that's going to put some chip damage on these tanks. A couple of them there are stacking up. I'm going to double kill those Scorpion tanks. Double A battery coming down from Eclipse. He's going to target down those Orcas. Hammerhead as well for me. I'm just going to suicide in these Orcas. I need to destroy this as quick as possible. These tanks are falling. All of the Scorpion tanks are now dead. I got 4 or 5 Titans built. Tier 3 down for Eclipse. So he's going to be working on an Obelisk as well. I'm a bit concerned of that Hand of Nod. It may have a Fanatic squad being queued, and I'm mismicroing my Orcas. I need to be more careful when I am in this all-in. But I've got the 3 Orcas landed. I could get the hardpoints upgrade here at this point. It is a $2,000 upgrade. I reduced the cost and upgrade duration in R20. And still nobody gets it, by the way. So that shows how bad it was. Not necessarily bad, but it's hard to make use of the upgrade. Much like the conversion reserves on the Devourer tank. Yes, on paper it's great, you get 20 shots, but by the time that Dev tank can utilize those 20 shots, it's already dead. So you just never see it get the value from that. Same thing applies for the hardpoints, though you can. It does change the math calculation of destroying buildings with Firehawks. Obelisk of Light does come down though, and this is problematic, but my Titans with their armor will be able to withstand an Obelisk shot. And Titans, by the way, can also shoot over buildings. It's the only vehicle besides artillery that can shoot over buildings, so that's going to make it really good in this situation here. Even if an avatar were to spawn from that war factory, I could just circle my Titans around the war factory, put a mine drop down, which would already take the avatar to half health, and then the 3 Titans would be easily able to clean up that. I'm going to use these Orcas just to focus down Obelisk quickly at this point. Now my opponent has to make the decision. Does he go for double A? Does he build those SAM turrets, or does he go for the Obelisk? And this is the dilemma I'm presenting to him. I'm also bringing in this blue Tiberium as well. At least Harvester under attack now works in R19, basically 1.02 plus since forever. Never had either notifications because that was bugged for the longest time. Did fix that finally in R20, so it's a quality of life improvement. Very helpful. I was deciding at first to target the tier 3, but the Obelisk of Light is more important here, and him shielding this behind the Obelisk, the Operation Center, won't do a lot. Does get one more of my Titans, but yeah, he still has more to contend with. I'm just funneling in those Titans into his base. Wolverine, not hero just yet, but heroic in the sense that he's saving these Titans from the rocket squads there. Does finally get taken out by that Obelisk. Eclipse must have focused that down. Elite units always risky to keep alive. That was not even upgraded with the AP ammo. So yeah, Wolverines can be pretty decent. And I suppose it ranked up because it was from the Bloodhounds, which gives the Wolverine already a rank. Orca Strike comes in just so I can reveal his base and see what's going on. Keep Eclipse on his toes. I got 2 grand here. My Harvesters have gone to long leech that Tiberium field. Now I'm in a bit of a conundrum because my opponent has set up this field. He's also bringing a lot of Tiberium as well. Hammerheads will sweep in and take out those rockets. Orcas, I can use the pulse scan on them to reveal the Harvesters. That stealth tank just got sniped immediately. Those have less health, by the way, than APCs. Very easy to take out with Orcas, especially fresh out of a war factory, because units can't shoot for a few seconds when they come out of that war factory. I believe the Mammoth tank is the worst in that regard, because the rockets on it has a 10-second reload. Mantis as well, notoriously bad at shooting down aircraft freshly spawned from a war factory. But yeah, Eclipse is struggling to hold this back. He has got his tier 2, so he can build a SAM turret, but he's probably a bit more concerned of those Titans. Can't blame him. If I had an APC, I could have gone around and harassed his Harvesters on that tib field. I'm going to try and coordinate an assault here. I'm going to rally my forces and time this with my Orca Strike, so the Hammerheads will be there just to tank some shots. I can use these as well to DPS this Obelisk as well. And now with all my forces, I'm going to go in and take out this Obelisk. This is going to be timed with the Orca Strike. Obelisk goes down right away. I think that didn't even get a single shot off. And with the Orcas there as well to support, the second Obelisk fell. Now it's just stealth tanks. So that was perfectly timed by me. Eclipse was starting to recover there, but I pushed right when I needed to, and those Pipples from the Bloodhounds and some that I made from my war factory will detect the last of the stealth tanks, will prevent it from harvesting, and I'm going to take that game. So that was another showcase of what one base GI play can look like, or in this case Steel Talons. I think it's better with Steel Talons because you can shoot over buildings, makes it easier to overcome that Obelisk defense. Anyways guys, thank you very much for watching this game. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, I really appreciate that. And I'll see you all in the next one. This has been Master Leaf. Peace out.